Jasmine tea is like relaxing. It gives me patience. It gives me love. It gives me kindness. It gives me inner peace and stillness when I drink this tea. It's so good. I love drinking jasmine tea. Today I was thinking on what it would take for us to be able to manifest the things that we want, or to be able to even be on the frequency to manifest the things that you want. And so I was looking into this, and I think one of the biggest places to start is to say that in order to even manifest or be a master manifester, you have to be able to be on the God frequency. That kind of sounds crazy, and it kind of sounds outlandish if you've never heard that before. What does it mean to even be on the God frequency? See, a lot of us want things. We want things right when we want them, in the exact time that we want them. But do we actually put in the work to create an inner environment within ourselves to be able to create those things and put that out into the universe, put that message out into God, into the God within us, and be able to actually create those things? It starts with you being on the God frequency. What is the highest form of being on the God frequency? That's love. Love is one of the highest frequencies that you can operate on, along with some others, but love is top tier. Love is one of the highest frequencies in order to be at the most operative state to manifest. Manifestation happens through us being able to embody what we want on the inside and reflect it on the outside. Because if we're not operating within the frequency that is aligned with what we want, there's no way you're going to get what you want. It's contradicting one another. If it is that I want to be successful, if it is that I want this amount of money, are my actions, are my thoughts, are my beliefs aligned with what I want? So in order to be able to be on that frequency of God, we have to have our internal and external environments match up with one another. Because if they're not matching up, it's going to be very hard for us to manifest things. It's going to be hard for us to get the things that we so desire. And it requires us to align our body with the earth's frequency as well. I don't know if you guys know this, but the earth itself has chakra points. If you don't know what chakras are, just a little general statement. Chakras are energy centers of the body. It starts from the bottom, the root, the sacral, the solar plexus, the heart, the throat, the third eye, and then you have your crown chakra. These are all energy centers of the body, and they're actually correlated to plexuses of the nervous system. Our nervous system has a bunch of neurons interconnected with each other all throughout our body. So we are literally made up of electrical signals, and these electrical signals are constantly being sent throughout our body. Even just me moving my hands, my brain is sending message to my hand that, hey, I'm gonna move, I want to move. We are made up of energy. We are made up of frequency. And so I looked into this thing, and it's called the vibration analysis chart, and it's measured in hertz. And I'm sure you've heard of hertz before. And along with the hertz comes colors, which are also correlated with the chakras I just mentioned. Each chakra actually has their own color. Sip a tea break. It's so good. It just like warms your soul and warms your spirit. I love tea. But so each in this vibration analysis chart, right? It looks like an upside down cone. And from the bottom, like I said, it's in line with the chakras. It's red, it's orange, it's yellow, it's green, it's blue, and then it goes into like purple, indigo. And that is all aligned with the frequencies that we operate on. And you may ask me, how do I know what frequency I'm operating on? And I can tell you exactly what frequency you're operating on. It has a lot to do with the emotions that you gather each day. It has a lot to do with the emotions that you store in your body. Did you know emotions are actually stored in your body? Like I said, our bodies are made up of a bunch of neurons. Our bodies are made up of a bunch of chemicals called hormones, right? And these can actually be stored inside of our body. So if we continuously operate, and so let's say shame, right? Which is one of the lowest frequencies that you can operate on. If you're continuously operating in shame, you're at one of the lowest frequencies there is, which is kind of crazy. If you're operating in guilt, that's right above shame. That's at 30 hertz. You're operating at the lowest frequency there is. And so when we start to accumulate these emotions, right, we become that frequency. Emotions become stored in our body, and those emotions become what we vibrate. Kind of like I mentioned in my last video, if you watched that one, was that we tend to notice people's energy. And what does that even mean sometimes? We tend to notice people's aura. We feed off of how other people are projecting out to us. We know when people are low vibrational people. I'm sure you've heard that. Low vibrational plates, low vibrational people. And it just means that those people, and if you are operating in this, and that's okay, I'm not shaming you or guilting you or faulting you, because I've been in that same place where I've been in those low vibrancies, those low frequencies, where I've operated primarily in the lower vibrations of the spectrum of the vibration chart, the vibration analysis. And so as we go up the chart, it goes shame, guilt, apathy, grief, fear, desire, anger, pride. And then once you start getting into like the higher regions and you start getting into the higher vibrancies, the higher hertz, becoming more and more closer to your higher self, we get courage, we get neutrality, willingness, acceptance, reason, love, peace, and enlightenment. And it's interesting, I kind of want to talk about the more higher hertz and the higher frequencies, because it's like one of them being like acceptance. Once we really let go, that's you saying that I'm giving this over to source within myself. I'm giving this over to God, the God within myself and the God without. I am giving this over and I'm letting life just play out, basically. That is acceptance. When we're no longer using our egoic brain, we start to become more on a higher vibrancy. So the chart also correlates with the different kind of consciousness that you're at. So if you're at a lower vibrancy, you're at the more egoic level. You're controlled more so by the outside world. And when you slowly go up, you become more logical. After you kind of get out of the egoic, then you kind of stay in the logical area, which is still on the lower vibrancy. And then once you go past the logical, you go more sort towards the spiritual. But still, when you become less spiritual and you become enlightened. And I think the main difference between being enlightened and being spiritual is that you have no attachment to anything. You have nothing to prove. You are nothing but everything all at once. And that is one of the highest frequencies that you could possibly be, to be enlightened. There's nothing to defend. There's nothing to be. There's nothing to do. There is nothing to do than just to be, because we are human beings, right? We came here to just be. And this is something that's really interesting to me. If you're interested in it, it's the vibration analysis chart. measured in hertz. You can look that up. Vibration analysis chart. A lot of psychology likes to use this chart, and it's a good place to start when you want to kind of grasp maybe what frequency you may tend to notice that you're operating on. So I wanted to share like those moments in my life where I have operated more so on a lower frequency. And earlier on, like in my younger age, is I would constantly want to be someone else, and to me that's one of the lowest frequencies that you can do. And social media today has made this even worse for a lot of us. So I would compare myself constantly to other people. I would not feel adequate. I would not feel equal to the counterparts, whether it be fellow students, fellow teammates. And this was primarily in high school. I would feel very unwanted. I would feel unwelcome. I would feel like I wasn't a part. I would feel like I didn't quite belong. And it all kind of is coming full circle. And it's kind of making sense now, because look at me now. I kind of have grown into the person in which my spirit came here to be. Not who I physically am, but who I internally am, right? So in these times, I was stuck in this low vibrancy. And it came to the point where I had to go through something in order to get out of that energetic frequency. I was constantly storing trauma in my body, and I was living in that space of flight or fight where I constantly had to defend myself, where I constantly felt like I wasn't good enough. I constantly felt like I didn't belong, as I mentioned, because I constantly compared myself. I wanted to be someone else. I wanted to be the more popular kid, right? In those high school years, it's like we all wanted to be a part of the in crowd and to be with the popular kids, you know? And I can say myself that I was one of those kids. I was one of those kids that wanted to be a part of the crowd. I was one of those kids that wanted to be seen. Because we come on this earth, we know who we are when we come on this earth, when we are brought here and God brings us up. We know who we are. It's just that we kind of forget. And so, like me, if you're stuck on this lower vibrancy and this low frequency, it's like you're not gonna allow yourself to be able to manifest the things that you want. If I was still in this frequency of comparing myself, if I was still in this frequency of wanting to be someone, waking up every day wishing I was born differently or wishing I was someone else, I would not be able to be manifesting the life that I so want, because I deserve the life that I know that is ordained for me. And if I had stayed on this low frequency, I wouldn't have been able to be charged up enough to even build the life that I have now and I'm cultivating each and every day. I wouldn't have attracted the people in my life if I continue to operate on a lower frequency. And what I want you to learn from this is, I want to make an analogy. It's kind of like, let's think about, what can we say? Like Teslas, right? Any kind of electric car, any kind of electric anything, right? Even a magnet. In order for that vehicle, that thing to operate, it has to have a charge. It has to have a high charge in order to run that thing efficiently, right? And our bodies are the same. In order to run efficiently, we have to have the highest of the highest energy to actually be efficient at the thing that we're doing. And that's manifestation. In order to manifest the things of the most highest vibration that are aligned with the higher version of you, you have to be at a higher frequency in order to manifest the things that you so desire. Because if you continue to be at that low vibrational state, you and your higher self, your God consciousness, your connection with God and the divine, it's never going to happen. It's never going to be connected. And that's why sometimes a lot of people, if you do know about chakras, if you don't, but there's higher chakras and there's lower chakras. And sometimes people get stuck at the lower chakras, the lower energy centers, because they can't get past the egoic state. They can't get past the lower vibrancies. And trust me, I've been there. You can't get past the ego. You always want to defend. You always want to be a part of this world. And that's okay, because we are here to have an experience. We are human. We are here to have the human experience, okay? So enjoy it, really do. But are you gonna enjoy it in the most highest and the highest form that you possibly can? Or are you gonna sit here and continue not manifesting the life that you actually deserve? Because you can manifest anything that you want on this earth. Anything that you want on this earth, if you actually align with the frequency of what you're trying to manifest. Because if you're not on the same frequency of what you're trying to manifest, that manifestation is not going to happen. In order to manifest, you have to become the manifestation. Let me say it again. In order to manifest the thing that you want, you have to become the manifestation, meaning you have to be equivalent to what you are manifesting. You have to be energetically matched to what you're manifesting. Because if I'm not here and it's up here, I can't do that. It's like if I was trying to if I'm at the bottom of a mountain, somebody else is at the top of the mountain, there's no way I can get to them. In order to get to them, I have to actually raise my vibration, my elevation. I have to raise my elevation in order to get to them. Wow. Yeah. I have to raise my elevation. And some of the ways in order to raise your elevation is every day having intentional awareness. Every day, instead of filling yourself with those lower vibrant emotions, replacing them with gratitude. Gratitude is one of those things that nothing else can exist. Mindful meditation. Remove yourself from relationships that are not aligned with the vibrancy that you're on. Surround yourself with people who inspire you and nourish your body. Drink water. Consume fruits. Consume the things that make you feel whole and complete. And doing these things, you'll get there. Day by day, you work at it, you'll be there. You'll be at that most highest form of yourself. And I'm a living, breathing proof of it, because every day I'm working to be in alignment with the things that I want to manifest. Because instead of wanting to manifest them, I become